What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth. I am back with you today for another reaction video. This one's for me. This was not a request from someone else. I got an email the other day from Metal Injection telling me that Metalhead was releasing new music. I knew that they had a new album coming up in a couple of months, but they released a video, and I'm going to react to that today. The song is, again, by Metalhead. The song is called Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate. Sounds very friendly and wholesome. We'll find out. Link to the original video is down in the description section below. Let's get to it. Metalhead, Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate. They probably could have thrown a couple more words in there. Nice. Signature harmonics.
Faithless, up a nice mask, call up the light, poison everything. False conspiracy, soulless enemy, dead for all the same. Look around and see the great decay.
Bass is nice.
Violence turns the fearful into slaves.
I'm always amazed at how fast this guy can actually sing and play guitar at the same time. I've seen them live and it's actually pretty impressive. And he's not just strumming, he's actually doing like finger work and picking at the same time. It's quite impressive that he can do that and sing on any level, let alone at the pace that he does it. Rob Flynn's a pretty talented musician. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Great decay. Violence turns the fearful into slaves. Look around and see the great hypocrisy glittering inside its rotting cage. Sick society, lost in vanity, paid to slowly die. Lifeless to parade, soul incarcerate, cutting like a knife. Shoving their vile venom down our throats like conopin. Force feed their lives back like medicine. Look around and see the great hypocrisy glittering inside its rotting cage.
I think that I have just simply been waiting for these guys to put something out that even scratches the surface of how good The Blackening was for a very long time now. Their last album, Catharsis, was kind of hit or miss with me. They had a few songs on there that were pretty good, but some of it was not so much. I know that album is the reason that their previous drummer and guitar player left. They said that this basically was becoming the Rob Flynn project, and they didn't want to be there anymore. And over the years since The Blackening, that entire band is gone, except for Rod. Yeah, Rod's in Metalhead now. Rob Flynn is the only staple in this band. This is definitely like the Rob Flynn project. I like a lot of their music, and I sincerely think that The Blackening is one of the best. It's right up towards the top of the list of the best albums in the last 25 years for me. But they've never been able to capture that feeling again. This is so far this is all right, but it's not The Blackening. It's not what I'd hoped for so far. Back to it.
Glittering inside its rotting cage. Chaos cratering, riots, anarchy. Lawlessness abounds, all of us hellbound. We're the damaged ones, left with the damaged one. We don't care no more, this is fucking war. Chaos cratering, riots, anarchy.
That sounds right. That's very nice. See, kids, you don't have to play 1,000 miles an hour with technical proficiency to make something sound fucking awesome. That part right there over the last 30 seconds or so sounded amazing, and it was about as simple as it gets. So no sweep picking and arpeggios and all that stuff. That was fine. That was perfect. That sounded awesome. One critique that I do have that I've noticed throughout the history of listening to Machine Head. I have every album that they've ever released on CD. I still buy their stuff. I'll probably buy this. I'm not going to break that pattern now. My OCD mind wouldn't allow that anyway. But I like Machine Head. I really do. It's just everything since that Blackening album has slowly come downhill, coming down to the bottom of that Catharsis album. They had the Blackening, and then they had the Locust record, and then they had Killings and Kings? Something in Kings. I can't remember what it was. Something, whatever. They had that album that's just slowly stepping down. Hopefully this one starts its way back up. But my point, throughout the history of this band, he does a whole lot of stuff. One thing you can guarantee you're going to get in Machine Head's music. A lot of harmonics and a lot of that low grumbling Rob Flynn almost speaking over the music rather than singing that blah, 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 and that builds up, and then he just starts screaming the same thing that he was. It fits sometimes, and it works sometimes. I guess that formula is just part of the Machine Head mystique, if you will. But something like it's something. Try something new is all I'm saying. Again, before you go crazy, I'm a Machine Head fan, but I feel like as a reacting to this song, these are the types of things that I need to point out. That right there is something that this guy and this band has been doing for a very long time. Sometimes it works, sometimes not so much. Back to it. Whole lot of whammy bar.
Shackled animal, jail slaughter, only time will tell.
One thing that I will say is I don't think Rob gets nearly enough credit for how good of a guitar player he actually is. Most of Machine Head's music, except for some of their early stuff maybe, their last 4 to 5 albums, the guitar work on those albums is pretty special. And he is a gigantic part of it. I have to assume that he writes most of it. The solos that are performed by whichever other guitar players in his band at the time, I'm sure they write their own solos. But when they do dueling solos, I'd almost bet Rob writes those. And Rob writes probably most of Machine Head's music. The guy's an incredibly brilliant heavy metal mind, for sure. And a very underappreciated guitar player. No doubt about it.
Only time will tell. Show on the ashes of your hate. Yeah, it's far too late. Look around and see the great hypocrisy glittering inside its rotting cage. Show on the ashes of your hate. And it's far too late. Look around and see the great hypocrisy glittering inside its rotting cage.
started it over. All right, so my immediate impressions of that song is that it doesn't sound like anything that I haven't heard before from Machine Head. It had a lot of the same Rob bouncing and singing in front of the camera. I know that sounds like just about every music video in the world. But if you're familiar with their music and their music videos and their writing style, there's a whole lot of camera focused on Rob and Rob waving his hands and bouncing in front of the camera, harmonics out the wazoo throughout. I don't know that there's a Machine Head song in existence that doesn't have harmonics in it. It's kind of like Zakk Wylde in a pinch harmonic. It's kind of the same. That's his signature. Harmonics are these guys. Just open harmonics are these guys' signature. And a lot of that, like I said, that low rumbling, gravelly Rob Flynn build-up, that's in a lot of Machine Head songs, and it was here again. This, to me, sounds like it could have been on that Catharsis album. I know that there's two, okay, in heavy metal there's two camps. There's the camp that hates it when a band changes their style. A perfect example of that is Metallica, who is my favorite band. I think that they have grown through the years and their music has definitely evolved as humans do. And I think that they had a couple clunkers in there. That Load, Reload thing. Well, Load was pretty damn good. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Reload and Saint Anger, there were a couple clunkers in there, but their last couple albums were absolutely amazing. They were going through a whole lot of shit at that time, if you know anything about them. But over time, they evolved, and I think that their music stands up today. That's why they're still selling out stadiums all over the planet. Then you have other people in a camp where they're happy when people evolve. So I guess there's a camp that don't like it when people evolve, and there's another camp that do like it when people evolve. I think when people evolve, it's a wonderful thing. Then if you're real good at what you do and you don't change your way of doing things, for a perfect example, Slayer. Slayer was Slayer from day one until they retired. They did what Slayer did. They didn't give a damn about what anybody else thought of them. And I love that about Slayer. That worked for them. It doesn't work for everybody. I think that sometimes when you change for the better. But I think that change is good. Change is really good. That's what you do. If you don't change, you don't grow. So change and growth is a beautiful thing. As far as musical growth goes, I don't think that this band has changed and grown. I think that they've changed and I think that they've evolved. But I think that when they did, in doing so, they kind of left something behind. What they captured on that Blackening album. And I've been listening to Machine Head for a very, very long time. And like I said, I'm a fan of Machine Head. That's why I own all of their music. So I feel like I know a little bit about this band. In the beginning, they were kind of metal, kind of hip-hoppy, that type of scene, that 90s thing, like Korn, new metal type feel. That they weren't like Korn, but it was that kind of in that vein. Hip-hop metal hybrid type of thing. And then somewhere along the line, he took his cornrows out and they put out an album called The Blackening. And before that, it was Burn My Eyes. This band was as good as anybody in the heavy metal scene at that time. Those two albums are great. The Blackening, it is a piece of art. Since then, like I was saying earlier, it feels like every album is stepping down a little bit. And now everybody that was with him when they put those albums out, they're all gone. And I've read interviews that have said that they were leaving because Rob was taking control of everything, sort of like a control freak type of guy, squeezing and controlling everybody to the point where they had to walk away. And I think in doing that, his music has taken a bit of a dive because of it. Everything still shows flashes of brilliance, but it never has captured that feel from that Blackening album. Obviously, this is my opinion. So that's how, for me, they've never been able to recapture what they That was like catching lightning in a bottle, and they've never been able to do it again since. I know that there are going to be people out there that love this, and I don't dislike this. It's just not anything that does anything for me. It's kind of a letdown. I was hoping for something different here. The headline that I read in Metal Injection made it sound like this was like the return of Machine Head to some degree. And I don't feel that it was. I think that this is okay at best. All right. Sorry if you guys don't like that opinion of this song. I'm getting out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. Thank you for watching, folks. Later.